Okay, so this is the cold saw. Okay, like I said, it's like a chop saw, but it's for metal, and it's called a cold saw because a coolant flows out of it. All right, so if there's ever not a coolant flowing out of it, you need to tell me and not use it. Does that sound good? All right, so this is good for cutting metal straight. It also can miter. So if you pull this handle and then spin, okay, then you can cut at angles. You see that? There's a little stripe right here. So you'll line that up with whatever angle you want. So if I wanted a 40-degree cut, I'd line it up there. However, I want a 0-degree cut. So I'm gonna line it up at 0. There you go. And then I tighten it back down. Perfect. So, this unfortunately cuts slow, just like everything else in metalworking. Unless you use a plasma cutter or something like that, then it's maybe not the straightest cut. But that's part of what it is. So if you have a line on here where you're gonna cut, you're gonna pull your blade down to make sure that's where you wanna cut. Ooh, that looks good. Looks really good. So now that I have that figured out, I have my emergency stop right here. Right now it's engaged. I want to disengage it. So I'm going to turn it a quarter turn to the right, then it releases. You see that? Then I hit the green button. Ooh, what does green mean? Go. Yeah, buddy. Green means go. Then there's a little button up here. You see it? I'm going to press that. That's going to make the blade start spinning and the coolant start flowing. You guys see the coolant flowing? What happens if the coolant's not flowing? Yell for me. It'll cut, but you're gonna dull my blade up, and the blades are like $300 a piece. And I didn't think it was possible, but I've had a kid shatter one. So make sure your metal's clamped down, make sure everything's good. The clamp here, okay, before I start cutting. As you can see, Nolan almost fell. Less of an athlete goes down. Anyway, as you can see, we didn't order this with vice grips as the handle. All right? So this just needs to be tight. I don't need it to be like John Cena tight. Does that make sense? Just tight. Okay? So, you do that, and you go down. Then you add a good pressure to it. You don't start jumping on it and trying to use all your weight. Let the blade cut. It does take a while. So it started moving, so I didn't finish cut. But anyway, that's like 5/8 inch thick steel. That's why it took so long. If you just cutting up square tubing and stuff, it'll go a little quicker. You guys see how that works? Yep. Some safety considerations. Don't touch spinning saw blades. Make sure your metal's clamped down. Sometimes if you cut on welds and stuff like that, that can be kind of dangerous because they're a little bit harder. So make sure you're just careful and conscious of that stuff. Besides that, yes.
What's the benefit of using this saw versus any other kind of saw you have in here?
Chop, straight down, cuts it straight. Would be that. What else? Any other questions? And it cuts at angles, miters, stuff like that. Vinny, why is there coolant coming out? Keeps the metal cold. So, heat, or when you go metal to metal, that's friction. Okay, friction causes heat. Heat causes warpage, okay, which can reduce the life of our saw blade and warp the metal that you're trying to cut. That makes sense? Cool. Any other questions? Cool, Dom. God, you're the best filmer ever. All right, now you don't have to film the next one. Any questions on this? Okay, so again, if you're cutting 3/8 inch thick steel, this will take you a minute.